Thank you for joining us this evening. It's always so nice to see a full house. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Spaeth.
Here.
Vice Mayor Chance.
Here.
Councilmember Bennett.
Here.
Councilmember Gibson.
Here.
Mayor Nelson.
Here. If we can please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I need a motion to approve the minutes from the August 12th council meeting and August 15th special council meeting.
So moved. I'm sorry.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? Anyone abstain? And just real briefly, we did have a special council meeting on August 15th. And just quickly, I wanted to talk quickly on what it was about. August 15th, we improved the incentive package for ADJOURN, which is a rapidly growing medical device manufacturer. Their project is to create 120,000 square feet of new laboratory space, office space, and advanced manufacturing and research and development space across 2 different buildings. This expansion will bring the Mason headquarters to 240,000 square feet. It represents a total investment of $45 million. ADJOURN will also add 300 to 400 new jobs over the next 5 years, and currently they employ about 470 in the Mason location right now. So that will bring a new total of employment to 770 to 870 new jobs in Mason. So this is really a big deal, and it's great news for the city of Mason. Okay, now it's time for the city manager's report. Jennifer?
Yep, Mayor, members of council. First of all, the regularly scheduled council meeting October 14th falls on Columbus Day, and we have some scheduling conflicts. So if council members have indicated that they would be available on Monday, October 7th at 7 o'clock p.m., if we'd like to reschedule that October 14th meeting, and if you would like to do so, we would need a motion by council at this time.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, do I have a motion to reschedule the October City Council meeting to Monday, October 7th at 7 o'clock?
So moved.
I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? Okay.
Okay, I have a number of items. I'll try to scurry through these quickly. The Warren County Arts Summit, presented by the Warren County Foundation and Arts Wave, will take place on Friday, September 13th from 11:30 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. at the Manor House. The intent of this event is to discuss opportunities to enhance funding and collaboration for arts organization in Warren County. If council members who would like to attend this event, please reach out to me or Megan. Mason Market on the Mile, held in partnership with the Maid CDC and Maid Chamber, will return for the final market this Friday, September 13th. The market is held in downtown Mason from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. Tour of a redevelopment of College Hill. The Maid CDC representatives have invited city council members to join them for a scheduled tour with leaders of the city of College Hill to discuss their recent redevelopment efforts to create a vibrant civic pride core in their community. The tour is scheduled for Thursday, September 12th at 3 o'clock p.m. Council members and members of the public are welcome to attend. If you're interested in attending, please meet at the Brink Brewing Company in College Hill. And if council members are interested in attending, please, again, reach out to me or Megan for that. Heritage Festival, it will take place on Saturday, September 21st in downtown Mason. The parade will begin at 3 o'clock p.m. Spectators to the event are encouraged to watch the parade near the downtown plaza. This year's, after the parade, the festival will begin and will feature kids' activities, vendors, a Porsche and exotic car show, as well as music entertainment by the Mason School of Rock, Pandora Effect, and Naked Karate Girls. Concluding the event will be a drone show that will take place at 9:45 p.m. Then next is East Maine Music Festival. The East Maine Music Festival, held in partnership again with the Maid CDC, will take place on Saturday, October 5th from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. The event will feature approximately 30 different musicians performing along both sides of East Main Street from the intersection of US 42 to Dawson Street. There will be several businesses that will also host live music after the event ends inside their establishment, including the Wildflower Cafe, Common Beer Company, and Adesso Coffee. The event is free and open to the public. National Fire Prevention Week takes place Sunday, October 6th through Saturday, October 12th. This year's campaign is Smoke Alarms, Make Them Work for You. The event aims to educate the public on the importance of having functioning smoke alarms in your home. In recognition of National Fire Prevention Week, there will be an open house at Fire Station 51 on Sunday, October 6th from 11 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. and will include a cookout, fire safety demonstrations, and a tour of the fire station. There will be an annual fire alarm blitz that week, as well as firefighters go door to door in designated areas of the city to check and install smoke alarms and replace smoke alarm batteries if necessary. The Mason Historical Society annual cemetery walk is scheduled for Tuesday, October 8th at 7 o'clock p.m. at Rose Hill Cemetery. The rain date is scheduled for Thursday, October 10th. Tickets are available at the Mason Historical Society's website and at the Alberta Green Museum on Thursday from 2 o'clock p.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. World Inclusion Day will be hosted at McKeno Park on Saturday, October 12th from 11 o'clock a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. This event is to celebrate diversity and unity and bring people of all backgrounds and abilities together for a day filled of sports, education, recreation, workshops, and fun activities. The event will feature a variety of organizations who contribute to inclusivity and diversity opportunities in the Mason community. It is free and open to the public. The May Chamber will be hosting the Gems of Excellence Award night on Thursday, October 24th from 5:30 p.m. to 9 o'clock p.m. at the Manor House. Council members interested in attending this should also contact Megan or myself. The Warren County Health District Mobile Health Van will be here in Mason the first and fourth Wednesdays of the month from 8 o'clock a.m. to 12 o'clock p.m. They will be in downtown Mason at the public parking lot next to Cervantes, near the intersection of Mason Montgomery Road and US 42. The health district will offer acute care visits, maintenance visits, immunizations, physical exams, and more. That's all I have, Mayor.
Great, thank you so much. Next is the fire department swearing in. Chief, would you like to come up?
Mayor, Council, thank you for having us here tonight. Tonight we're here to celebrate the formal swearing in of 3 of our newest fire and EMS professionals. This is another exciting time in the growth and development of Mason's Fire Department. Ethan Arcuri, Braden Martin, and Kyle Temple were hired in August of 2023 and have immediately contributed to the city's commitment to providing top-notch public safety services to the community. I'm going to ask that Mayor Nelson deliver the oath of office tonight to all 3 together. So Ethan, Braden, and Kyle, come forward as I introduce you. A graduate of Mason High School, Ethan Arcuri began his professional career in the educational and coaching setting. Looking for a career change, Ethan earned his firefighter and EMT certifications at Great Oaks and applied to work in the community he grew up in. In his time with us, Ethan has proven to be a valuable member of his crew, has fit in well with our department, and has consistently demonstrated his pride in serving his community. Ethan's future is bright, and we look forward to seeing him develop over the course of his career. For firefighter paramedic Braden Martin, the job is a family tradition, as he follows in the footsteps of his dad. Braden began his career working locally, moved away, and then returned to Ohio after spending some time working as a firefighter in Florida. We are pleased that Braden chose to join our department. He brought experience and the all-important paramedic certification with him when he joined us. His positive attitude and willingness to learn makes him a great person to be around each shift. And Kyle Temple. Kyle came to the city after a lengthy career working for the city of Fairfield in public works and in the fire department. Like Braden, Kyle brought his paramedic certification, maturity, and valuable experience to the department and has used those attributes to quickly become a well-respected member of our staff. We look forward to having Kyle as a member of our team for a long time. Mayor, these individuals have successfully completed their year-long apprentice program training and are looking forward to the next steps of their careers. Please deliver the oath of office to our newest firefighters.
All right, the green light is on, but it's not, there it is. Okay. All right, raise your right hand, please. I, and repeat after me. I, state your name, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of Ohio, the Charter and ordinances of the City of Mason, Ohio, and the rules and regulations of the City of Mason Fire Department, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of firefighter. Congratulations.
I was going to have them do in the atrium. Yeah, works. For family, we'll get some pictures in the atrium afterwards. We have one more item of business to take care of, I think, before we do that, though.
Okay, I need a motion to move ordinance 2024-81 to item number 7 on the list.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? Okay, I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved?
Second?
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed?
Authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Horton Emergency Vehicles for the purchase of one Horton ambulance and declaring an emergency.
Okay, Chief, would you like to discuss this?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. The city's apparatus replacement schedule includes replacing ambulances after about 12 years of service. Maintaining a fleet of 5 ambulances provides the ability to operate 3 frontline response units with 2 units in reserve. Currently, the fire department operates a 2012 and 2013 model as the reserve units. A replacement for the 2012 is scheduled to arrive in May of 2025. The 2013 model has currently been the most reliable reserve unit in our fleet, and the frontline ambulances range from 2018 to 2021 models. Recently, the 2013 model, the most reliable reserve, has experienced significant starting and diesel regeneration issues. The repair for that vehicle was a full engine replacement that cost approximately $30,000. While the current reserve ambulances remain functional, their service life has been extended to the point where costly repairs may be required and are the only option to keep the vehicles operating while waiting for a replacement to be delivered. Compounding this problem, staff have found that due to global supply chain issues, industry-wide manufacturer staffing concerns, and an increase in emergency vehicles being ordered due to the availability of federal funds, expected lead times for ambulances have now increased to 32 to 36 months. As a result of these factors, staff evaluated the possibility of ordering an ambulance to begin the extensive process to replace the 2013 model. This replacement was anticipated to be part of the 2025 budget request. However, staff is recommending that an order be placed now to minimize further delays and issues. Delaying further could push delivery to 2028 or 2029, causing additional strain on the reserve fleet of emergency vehicles. The ambulance ordered will be the same style as those ordered since 2018 and will complete the standardization of the ambulance fleet. The cost associated with the purchase of the ambulance is $416,600, with delivery expected in the middle of 2027. A supplemental appropriation will be necessary if the ordinance is approved to allow for the funds to be encumbered in 2024. We've added an emergency clause to the legislation to allow for the city to secure a place in line to order the ambulance at the earliest possible date and secure the current price. With those factors, ordinance 2024-81 is recommended for adoptions, and if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Any council discussion?
Mayor?
Yes.
I did want to make a comment on this. I actually had to read through our memo a couple of times because it's always amazing to me how long it takes to get an ambulance. And since we have so many people in the audience tonight, I really wanted to emphasize this because like you said, I think it was, we ordered the last one February of 2023,
Yeah.
and it's already been delayed a couple months, right? So now it's not coming till May of 2025.
Correct.
And now that lead time has increased, you said, to 32 to 36 months. So by us passing this ordinance tonight, like you said, you're not going to get it till 2027. And that's just like, it just blows my mind that it takes that long. And the fact that you've already had to replace an engine in one of them, and it cost, what was it, about $30,000 to do that. So I'm glad that we're able to do this evening. And hopefully we can keep you all with the equipment that you all need. And hopefully those times are going to get better. I don't think they will, but
I hope so too.
yeah. And it's nice to see you all tonight. Is anybody at the station? I don't know. Congratulations to the new firefighters.
Yeah, I mean, it's great that the city is actually keeping on top of everything to know to order it so soon. You guys have always been really good at that, so that's great for the city. Okay, roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Chance,
Yes.
Councilmember Bennett,
Yes.
Councilmember Gibson,
Yes.
Mayor Nelson,
Yes.
Councilmember Spaeth,
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. We'll just give them a minute to walk out. For all of you watching on ICRC, we have quite a large group of the Sea Monster water polo team filtering in here. So we're just waiting patiently for everyone to come in. Okay, like I said, the Sea Monsters water polo team is here, and we are recognizing them tonight. Is Coach Lori Roth here? Would you like to go to the podium?
Hi there. I enjoy being called coach because actually I'm not a coach. And I have no athletic ability whatsoever. But my name is Lori Roth, and I'm a teacher here at Mason High School, and I am the president of the Sea Monsters Water Polo Club. Just a really short little bit of background about our club, if that's okay. We are a nonprofit 501c3 organization, and we are a USA Water Polo official club in the Midwest zone. Basically, we're a grassroots effort of 5 board of directors. I'm one of them. Jen Ponstingle, who's in the audience, is another fabulous one. Jason Chaddock, Rob Dickerson, and Scott Harrington, who's also in the audience, is another member of our board of directors, along with an extremely talented and passionate coaching staff. We were formed in 2023 in about 6 weeks because there was a huge need and interest in water polo in Southwest Ohio, and we're so fortunate and thankful to be able to use the aquatic center facilities and the community center pools. And as we continue to grow the sport, we're really looking forward to partnerships that can benefit both the Mason City and as we invite volunteers and other participants and supporters in, hopefully look at hosting tournaments here because post-COVID, there's not a lot of places to play water polo. So we're very, very fortunate to have the facilities here for our teams to be able to train. And I'm also a Mason High School graduate. And in fact, back in the day, let's see, my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, 7 times back, is William Mason. So keeping things here in Mason was something that we were really committed to as we were putting this program together. If you don't know anything about water polo, ESPN in 2024 said it's the toughest sport to play. It's not a sport I would ever play. But it's a game of 2 teams with 7 players each, where the players tread water for up to an hour, and they swim over a mile during the length of their game while passing a ball around with only one hand, never touching the bottom of the pool, and trying not to get drowned by their opponents. So it's a pretty physical game. Sometimes I compare it to rugby in the water. Our club has all ability levels, development, competition, and elite. We're ages 5th grade through 12th grade, and we have both girls and guys teams, and you'll get to meet some of those fabulous kids here tonight. We have people who come to play with us from all over Ohio: Sycamore, Mason, Milford, Princeton, St. X, Napoleon, St. Charles, Upper Arlington, Little Miami, Oakwood, Walnut Hills, Fenwick, Ursuline, Moeller, as well as people who come to play with us from Indiana, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, California, and even Canada and Italy. So we have really been fortunate to have a lot of players from a lot of different backgrounds come be a part of our organization. We have players, some of them in this room, who have competed on the USA Water Polo Olympic Development National Team. So we got some talent in this room, and earned a spot at the national team selection camp as well as many collegiate water polo athletes, including 6 Division I players. We compete nationally from March to August, and when we started in 2023 with our little board of directors of 5 people, we were hoping for 55 kids to come out. And that first year we had 90. And in 2024, we went up to 125 players, including 27 middle school age or below. So the program is growing, and it is, if you don't know this either, the fastest growing sport in the United States. So it's pretty cool. Our program includes strength and conditioning, yoga, film study, classroom instruction, in addition to our pool training. And honestly, our goal is to promote the sport of water polo in Ohio and beyond, to build opportunities for growth in our current and our future players, to develop our talented and successful coaches, because water polo needs more water polo coaches, and provide a safe and positive learning environment for our kids that fosters teamwork and leadership and team culture. And culture is a big part of what the Sea Monsters preach every single day. In fact, you'll hear Coach Matt talk about it, that we expect our kids to play like champions in the pool and outside of the pool. And with that, I am going to introduce you to Coach Matt, who is our strength and conditioning coach. He's also our resident motivational speaker. I've told him he can only speak for 2 minutes, so hopefully he'll keep to that, right, Coach Matt? Do my best. Okay, here you are, sir. Coach Matt, Lisa.
Thank you. As the assistant head coach of the program, I just want to take an opportunity now to tell everyone here that championship pedigree is what we strive for. A lot of coaches teach their athletes to be water polo players. We teach our athletes to be champions. That's the goal every single time. We would not be able to do that without a championship caliber board, a championship caliber facility, which we have at the 50-meter pool right up the hill here, a championship coaching staff, and a championship mindset. So I want to thank everyone involved. The athletes in the water, becoming a champion is not an easy thing to do, and you must work at it all the time. Championships are not won in the pool. They are won, they are not won in the pool on game day. They are won in the pool during practice. They're crowned on game day, but they are won during practice. I want to talk about a little bit for all of you, the perception of this sport. First of all, Lori did an excellent job of discussing how it is the #1 rated toughest sport of ESPN. It is also the #1 sport of Navy SEALs, followed by swimming, then wrestling. So if that doesn't give you a little more clear context, it should. The perception of water polo in Ohio has been it's been very non-existent. We have 16 teams in the state. Here in the Southwest, we have 7 teams, all of which were represented by the Sea Monsters, or had a representative on the Sea Monsters. And everywhere we traveled, we got, you guys play water polo in Ohio? We didn't know that. Our first tournament that we participated in our first year of existence was in Saline, Michigan. It was our girls team went, and they finished second in the tournament. And it was quite a big surprise to a lot of the competitors. We went to the Moonshot Rocket Tournament in Huntsville, Alabama, and that was our first championship as a club. We won the tournament. For some of our athletes, it was the first time they had won a tournament before. And you have to teach them to learn how to win. It's a feeling that everyone really enjoys, and everyone goes after it, but no one wants to give it to you. You have to go and take it. We went to the Junior Olympics that year, and our 16U girls finished 11th in the championship bracket in California. Our 18U boys finished 6th in the Texas bracket, or the Texas competition. Both were the highest finishes from any Ohio team in any Junior Olympics in the history of the Junior Olympics in the state of Ohio. That was our 2023 competition. We won the Water Polo Sportsman Award, the USA Water Polo Sportsman Award for 2023. In the 2024 season, we were able to gather a lot more tournaments to compete in. We were able to travel to Pennsylvania for the Pennsylvania Cup. We were at the Tiger Invite in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania as well, where we secured several wins. We finished 4th in the Pennsylvania Cup. We also competed in an open water tournament in which we won in Orlando, Florida, or I'm sorry, Clearwater, Florida. They played water polo in the ocean, so if you can figure that one out. And then we returned once again to Alabama to defend our title, and we were successful, so we are the 2-time defending champions of the Moonshot Rocket Tournament in Huntsville, Alabama, and we'll be going back in June to make it 3. And then we brought our rosters to the Junior Olympics, and the success that we had, having other coaches and from other programs in other states coming and saying, where did this come from? Your athletes are improving so much, the techniques, the skill sets, the conduct. We always get credited for the conduct, the effort, the no quit. Always, everywhere, coaches come up to us and congratulate us for that and recognize us for that. It is a testament to our athletes. It is a testament to the training. It is a testament to the coaching staff and the grit of athletes here in Ohio. Our girls finished in Pennsylvania. Sorry, I lost my. Okay, there we go.
He doesn't like a script.
No.
I gave him a script and messed him up.
Yes, our girls finished.
You want me to take over?
No, because I want to.
It's right here. Enter J. Are you talking about this?
Yes,
Okay, right
sorry.
there, right there.
The girls entered the Junior Olympics as the 46th seed and finished 45th in California. And the 18U girls entered seeded 39th and finished 18th. The 18U boys, orange team, we had two teams. They finished 4th in the gold bracket in Texas. The 16U boys finished, they finished 6th in the gold bracket. And the 18U blue team, our best of Ohio. This represented many of the schools. It was the first time for the boys' side that we had teams outside of the Southwest. Some boys come down from Columbus to really give us the opportunity to be the best team Ohio could put together. And we went down to Texas and we won the championship. In typical Sea Monster fashion, the game went into a double overtime shootout because we couldn't make anything easy. Went into a double overtime shootout, and two of our original Sea Monsters were Mason graduates. One scored the winning shot, and the other one scored the winning stop. And that is how the Sea Monsters won the gold medal. I just want to say thank you to the board, to the council for recognizing us. This is a big honor, and thank you for everyone who showed up tonight. Thank you for all the parents. Thank you for all the athletes who showed up tonight. Stand tall, stand proud, heads up all the time. You are all champions. When the program wins, we all win. This medal wouldn't be won without each and every single person. The boys who had to practice against someone, and steel sharpens steel. And our athletes came every day to make themselves better, make their teammates better, and we went and brought home a championship. So it's a very proud moment, and it's a very exciting thing. And I'm just going to finish with this. The first one's easy. I plan to have 4 or 5 of these before it's done.
CY is our motivational speaker. Would it be okay if we introduce the kiddos real fast? Would that be all right?
Yes.
Our coaches for the 16U girls team, Savannah Cross and Paul Split, if you would come forward, and would all the 16U girls come up to the front so they can announce your names, because you're pretty fabulous. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to you, Coach Paul.
Hi, and good evening, and thank you for having us here. What an incredible honor it is that you are recognizing this program. I want to say, before we get too far into this, just a big thank you to Lori Roth and her vision for this program. My resume, I've been coaching for 25 years. I've been involved in a lot of different programs. I've been involved in championships and teams that haven't won, and I've had a chance to be with our Olympic team and travel internationally, and every team that has had this thing of success, they've never been about themselves. They've been about something bigger. And day one, this is my first year with the program, and I got a call saying, we want you in the program, and this is our vision. And their vision was never about an individual. It was about this bigger thing about this group and how we as a team can build things. And it's just been really special to be a part of that. And you don't get that very often. And it's something I think it's important that everybody knows what's happening here. It's a really special vision, and it's an honor and a privilege to be a coach on this staff, and I'm grateful for this. That being said, these are some of the amazing young ladies that we have in our program. Obviously, we couldn't get everybody here. It's hard, we're so regional, and we got kids that are up in Michigan and kids that are in Pennsylvania that couldn't make it down, but they send their best wishes. To my left here is Savannah Cross. She has been just an absolute rock on this program as a coach, and it's an honor and privilege to coach with her. And here on our team, not represented right now, is Catherine Vales. She was our goalie. Maddie House, she's not here either. She's out of Milford. Isabel Henry, she's from Napoleon, Ohio. Lulu Bacher, she is from Upper Arlington. She's not here either. But we do have Cameron Kalimnik. She's here. She plays with the Cincinnati Mavericks. Olin Moyer is not here. She's out of Michigan. Maisie Moran is not here tonight. She plays with the Cincinnati Mavericks. Callie Galaney, she is here tonight. Step forward, please. And she plays here with Mason. And then we have Claire Ponstingle. She plays here at Mason as well. And Adeline Dvorak, she is here out of Mason as well. We have Martha S. I've always butchered her last name, so I'm not going to do that here on national television. We have Nora Bradley. She's out of Napoleon. She's not here tonight. And then lastly, out of Mason is Veronica Kudiakova. Give it up for our girls 16 and under team.
Okay, and then I'm going to have Coach Elise come on up and introduce our 18U girls that are here tonight. Oh, we have one. We have one of our fabulous 18U girls and our fabulous Elise Sproul.
Hello, everybody. Thank you again for the opportunity for letting us to come out and recognize the sport of water polo. I was here with Lori since day one, since the start of this program. I was asked, hey, what are you doing tonight? Let's meet up. Let's figure out what the future of water polo looks like. So I've been here since the day of this inception of this program, and I'm glad to be a part of it. So I wish I had more of my girls here, but as you heard Paul say, we have people from all over, Michigan, Columbus, California. So just having that large reach, I think just showcases our sport and how we're able to reel them in and bring them into the Sea Monster family. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce our 18U players. Ella Dean out of Upper Arlington. Isabel Shade, she's a Sycamore High School player. Carly Avila, she is just moved from California to Indiana. Lulu Bacher, Upper Arlington. Cameron Kalimnik, Cincinnati Mavericks. Olin Moyer, she is also out of Michigan. Jessie Paulet, out of Mason. Gabby Kelly, she is from California. Riley Schuler from Upper Arlington. Rachel Hemela, Cincinnati Mavericks. Mackenzie Spring, out of Napoleon. Sarah Snyder, Upper Arlington. Jada Scharf, Walnut Hills. Reese Wagner, Napoleon High School. And I also would like to thank Lindsay Stevens, who cannot be with us. She is my assistant coach. Bringing her into this program has been a great opportunity just to nurture her and really help her grow the love of this sport and just continue watching her grow as a coach. She is a Sycamore High School assistant coach, and I definitely see her really taken off in the next few years as a coach. So again, thank you for this opportunity.
All right. Then I'm going to have Savannah Cross, Megan Lithgow come on up, and this is our 16U boys. If the 16U boys will come on up to the front of the room, along with our team manager, Colton Roth.
I just wanted to start off with saying thank you, because this was my first JO's experience. I went with the girls, and I also went with the boys, so that was a very different experience, coaching both of the teams. But I do want to introduce our goalie, Dylan, and our other goalie, Emmett Rose, Charlie Ward, Hassan Essa, Mingda Hirawaka, Michael Guao, William DeSulis, Colin Brown, Ethan Adenolfi, Aaron Zelvi, Audie Mara, Nolan Ambers, Rocco Ferry, and Mitchell Schroeder. They're not all here tonight because they are everywhere, but we do have a few here tonight.
And I'm going to call Coach Matt back up for one quick second to introduce our 18U Orange team.
This team is definitely a special place in my heart. I had the privilege of head coaching this team and coaching my son, who will be the third Mason graduate that I have raised and bore, so to speak. I am excited to announce this team was the team that I had mentioned. Every day in practice had to go up against the gold medalists. They had to go take a beating every day to make sure that they could sharpen that steel that I spoke of earlier. And I couldn't be prouder of the fact that we played for a bronze medal, even as the second team on the Sea Monster roster. So I want to start with Cole Dowden, who is not here tonight, Dylan Cahill. Ernie Manders is here. He plays for Walnut Hills. Evan Parkins, who is a Mason High School student, senior this year. Anthony Leza, who is also a Mason High School student. Nolan Ambers, Andrew Welker, who is a Mason graduate. Nashil Shaw, who is also a Mason High School senior this year. Brooks Conley, who graduated from Milford High School. David Zhang, who is a Sycamore senior this year. Liam Lang, who is a Sycamore senior this year. Tristan Harrington, who is a Mason graduate, playing in college right now. Lachlan McLaren, who is from the state of Colorado. Emmett Royalty, who is also plays at Walnut Hills. Aaron Zelvey from Sycamore, and Malcolm Stocker, also from Walnut Hills. Just very proud to have coached this team and the effort that they gave, and we were so close to medaling in the gold bracket. It was a very exciting tournament all the way around. So thank you.
Okay, and finally, we have our 18U Blue team. If the guys from that would come up. They were coached by, I'm going to say everybody on the Sea Monsters coaching staff. But their head coaches were head coach Adam Livingston, who was the Ohio Water Polo Coach of the Year, and Stefano Di Loretto, who is a former Mason water polo player, University of Cincinnati water polo player, and an Olympic development coach. I'm going to turn it over to Coach Steph.
Thank you. Yeah, this is a very huge honor. Thank you so much for the Mason Council for recognizing us. Never in my life, my 11 years of playing water polo, did I ever think that the sport would get this big. I always thought it was going to be like a niche sport for the rest of my life, but the state that this sport is in now is just simply incredible. There's like no words to describe it. It's just a feeling that I get that from playing so much that it's just like, this is different. This is the next level. This is like how I wished the sport would be when I was younger. These kids mean so much to me. They have really, truly changed my life. Going through this whole journey, has changed me, not even just as like a player, seeing myself in them, but also as a coach. It has like changed me so much professionally. These guys are such mature young men. They just are so profoundly like amazing. It's simply put like that. And this is all thanks as well to Adam Livingston, the head coach. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here, but he is also someone so very big in this program that it would never be the same if he wasn't here. He has also changed me so much. He has taught me so much about just coaching in general. He has such a high IQ. This man is one of the smartest people I've ever met when it comes to sports. He learns like crazy. Like he just absorbs information and is able to spit it out. He is just so smart. So a huge shout out to Adam. He's simply amazing. Yes, he is awesome. I would like to introduce these fine young men. Unfortunately, couldn't be here. Ryan Roth from Mason, Liam Miller from St. Charles, Jackson Connor from Milford couldn't be here with us tonight. Yassine Gobrel from Mason, Carter Meyer from St. Xavier, Carter Dickerson, who played for us for Mason, Luke Conway from St. Charles, Andre Kudiakov played for us for Mason, came from Mason, Marco Di Loretto from Mason, Raul Arrigo came from Italy, played for Mason. Simply awesome that he came simply from Italy. That just shows the reach of the sport. Evan Preisler goes in Moeller, plays for Sycamore. Grant Carmody plays for Sycamore, and Pierce Bateman plays for St. Charles. Simply amazing men. I would like another round of applause for these guys. And they truly are the definition of conducting themselves in and out of the water as champions. And it really shows with this gold medal hanging around their neck. Thank you.
All done.
Okay, could we get a group photo of all the athletes, coaches, and council members? Just one quick note, athletes, council has a token of our. Hey guys, there's just a token of council's gratitude and appreciation for all your hard work and your medals that you brought home. So congratulations. If you want to stop over at the cart over there and grab a bag off the cart, greatly appreciate it. Thanks. She's doing it at the end. Yeah. In like a mile. Mayor, when you're ready, look at her, because he'll put it up on there. It's up to you. Okay, just tell him that then.
Okay. Next is recognition of visitors. Would anyone like to come to the podium and speak? If you are here for the public hearing, you will have a chance to speak later on in the schedule here. No? Okay. Moving on. Resolution 2024-15. I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed?
A resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Warren County Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor.
Jennifer?
Yes, Mayor, members of council, on May 13th, council held a first reading, and on June 10th, council held a public hearing and authorized Resolution 2024-13, which adopted the tax budget for the city of Mason. That is not the annual budget, I'll remind everybody. That's the tax budget, and the purpose of the tax budget is to show need, local government need for local government funds. The tax budget is then submitted to the county auditor, who sets property tax rates, and then the city must officially accept the property tax rates that the county establishes. If you recall, at the July 8th meeting, Warren County Auditor Matt Nelson presented information on the 6-year reevaluation of all properties in the county. And at that time, it was estimated that Mason's typical home tax bill would experience approximately a 7% increase for 2025. While 73% of the current taxes will not increase at all, the portion that will see the increase included approximately 16% for the city's inside millage, 31% for the safety fund millage, and 18% for the Warren County's inside millage, with 35% of it being Mason City Schools' inside millage. The Finance Committee met on August 29th to discuss the impact of the property tax reevaluation. The Finance Committee's evaluation of the property tax rate reduction indicated that any reduction would have a minor impact on actual savings for property tax bills, but have a significant impact on the financial health of the safety fund. The adjustment to property valuations will help minimize and potentially avoid future safety fund deficits as safety fund services needs continue to grow. The tax rate for the safety fund has remained comparable or lower than the fire and EMS levies for other jurisdictions. The rate for the safety fund, as authorized by the 2012 charter amendment, has remained at 4.40 mils since its inception, and one of the lowest tax rates needed compared to other previous fire levies. As such, the Finance Committee recommended keeping the safety fund rates at the reduced rates that were established as part of the charter amendment in 2012. With that, Resolution 2024-15 is recommended for adoption. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? I need a motion to adopt. Any council discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bennett?
Yes.
Councilmember Gibson?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Chance?
Yes.
Resolution 2024-16, I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed?
Declaring the necessity and intention to appropriate property for the Snyder Road Widening Phase 2 Western Road to US 42 project and declaring an emergency. Daniel H. Quick.
Kurt?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I'd like to talk about all of the resolutions, 2024-16 through 23, briefly. About 18 months ago, we started the acquisition process for this project. As Jeff mentioned, it's the improvement of Snyder Road from US 42 down to Western Road. We had a total of 35 properties that we needed to get signed. We've gotten 25 of those signed with 8 property owners remaining. A couple of those have multiple easements or multiple properties on one owner. So it's necessary now, after 18 months of trying to begin the appropriation process. The majority of these that remain are just non-responsive to us. And upon adoption of these resolutions, this is just the first step in a multi-step process. We would continue to try to move negotiations forward, and the next step would be to to, if these resolutions are passed, that they would be notified about this resolution, and a lot of times that helps those negotiations to move forward. The next step after this would be for the law director to notify them about the appropriation process, and then that's where the appropriation action would happen. So with that, we recommend adoption of Resolution 2416 through 23 for adoption, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Okay, thank you. And
Question.
questions will be in just a minute. Motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
A council discussion. Councilmember Bennett.
I read in the notes that it says these are temporary easements. Can you tell me what that means?
Yeah, so easements can be a number of things. It could be a storm sewer easement. It could be right-of-way for the actual project. Those are often permanent easements that are for basically forever once you record them. A temporary easement allows us to do maybe grading on somebody's property if we're changing the grade of the road, or in this case, a lot of this is from the bike path or sidewalk that are being improved. And so to tie that in with the grades in their yard so that there's not just, dirt on the edge of the path, we need a temporary easement to do a little bit of grading on their property. So these remaining ones are all temporary easements, which means typically they're about 2 years. So once construction commences, they last for 2 years, and then we have to get our work done within that 2-year period, and then the temporary easements go away.
So it's not like we're asking them to give up property that's theirs.
Correct.
You're asking for the permission to work on the land while you're doing the improvement.
That's
and then it reverts back.
Right.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Gibson?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bennett?
Yes.
Resolution 2024-17, I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed?
Declaring the necessity and intention to appropriate property for the Snyder Road Widening Phase 2, Western Road to US 42 project, and declaring an emergency, Indiana and Ohio Railroad.
I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Any council discussion? Roll call?
Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bennett?
Yes.
Councilmember Gibson?
Yes.
Resolution 2024-18, I need a motion to read by title only.
Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed?
Declaring the necessity and intention to appropriate property for the Snyder Road Widening Phase 2, Western Road to US 42 project, and declaring an emergency, Karen L. Morgan.
I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Council discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bennett?
Yes.
Councilmember Gibson?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes. Resolution 2024-19, I need a motion to read by title only.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed?
Declaring the necessity and intention to appropriate property for the Snyder Road Widening Phase 2, Western Road to US 42 project, and declaring an emergency, Majid A. and Farhat Qureshi.
I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? I need a motion to adopt.
Moved.
Second.
Any council discussion? Roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bennett?
Yes.
Councilmember Gibson?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Spaeth?
Yes.
Resolution 2024-20, I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed?
declaring the necessity and intention to appropriate property for the Snyder Road widening Phase 2, Western Road to US 42 project, and declaring an emergency. Mark F. Langfritz.
I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Any council discussion? Roll call?
Councilmember Bennett?
Yes.
Councilmember Gibson?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Chance?
Yes.
Resolution 2024-21, I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed?
Declaring the necessity and intention to appropriate property for the Snyder Road widening Phase 2, Western Road to US 42 project, and declaring an emergency. Snyder Cove Homeowners Association.
I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Any council discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Gibson?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bennett?
Yes.
Resolution 2024-22, I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed?
Declaring the necessity and intention to appropriate property for the Snyder Road widening Phase 2, Western Road to US 42 project, and declaring an emergency. Alexander and Tatiana Sobolov.
I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Any council discussion? Roll call, please.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bennett?
Yes.
Councilmember Gibson?
Yes.
Resolution 2024-23, I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed?
Declaring the necessity and intention to appropriate property for the Snyder Road widening Phase 2, Western Road to US 42 project, and declaring an emergency. Western Row Investors, LLC.
I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Council discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bennett?
Yes.
Councilmember Gibson?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes. Okay, now we come to ordinance 2024-67. This is the public hearing. I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed?
Approval of a major modification to a concept planned unit development plan for the Health Alliance planned unit development located on Old Western Row Road, west of Innovation Way, Health Alliance PUD.
Okay, Kurt?
Yes, thank you. Jordy's here to give us an overview of the major modifications and explain the PUD.
Thank you. So I will just wait for the screen to catch up with me. Thank you. Okay, good evening. So the applicant tonight is requesting approval of a major modification to the Health Alliance planned unit development. So this is south of Old Western Row Road, west of Innovation Way, and east of the Oakwood Lakes condominium development. So the right side of your screen is actually north on this map. This is the current approved plan for that PUD. So you'll see on the left side of your screen, the southern part of the property there is that existing Lindner Center of Hope. You'll see the conference center, which is where that existing home is on the property. And then the front part of the property has not developed yet, but there are 3 high-tech industrial office buildings. So this plan was approved by City Council in 2007. The applicant is before you tonight to request a major modification. So north is now the top of your screen, just to reorient you. To make it a little bit easier, I've highlighted in color what is changed from that currently approved concept plan. So the Lindner Center of Hope, they're proposing 2 additions. The smaller southernmost one is a 10,000 square foot addition to Sibsey House, which is their inpatient residential. And then on that northeast corner of the Lindner Center of Hope, they're proposing an almost 75,000 square foot, 4-story medical office building and patient room addition. They also purchased the property from the Jewish Health Alliance just north of them and are now proposing a new parking lot to accommodate that increase in the medical office building. So that's what you see in gray. Then around that parking lot are 5 what we've fondly referred to as cabins. They're about 5,500 square feet each. There's a nature trail walking around them, and again, that's for potential outpatient therapy options. And then they are also showing 2 new 2-story medical office buildings. One is in the site of that existing home/conference center. The other is next to the parking lot. Where the parking lot and those cabins and that medical office building was where detention was going to be on that previous site. So you'll see in the light blue, they've shifted that stormwater detention pond to accommodate that. The previous plan also had a road going from the northeast corner where the Lens Crafters Luxottica light is on Old Western Road down towards Innovation Way, hopefully with the goal of connecting out to Innovation Way and that I-71 interchange in the future. They did have to shift that road location slightly to make room for the new parking lot and medical office building, but you'll still see that on the plans. And then because the square footage of the Lindner Center of Hope was increasing, the north part of the property currently has what could be 3 4-story high-tech industrial office buildings. They're proposing to reduce the height of those 2 in blue from 4 stories down to 2 stories. So there is a major increase in square footage for the Lindner Center, but they're compromising by reducing the height of the HT1 buildings to make up for that. So given all of that, at their August meeting, Planning Commission did recommend approval with one staff condition. The open space calculations just didn't appear correct, so we've actually already worked with the architect, shored those up, and they're all good to go. So with that, ordinance 2024-67 is recommended for adoption this evening, and I'm available for any questions.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay, we're going to open the public hearing right now. And the time is 8:07. Would anyone like to come to the podium and speak?
Good evening, everybody. Hi, my name is Paul Crosby with the Lindner Center of Hope. And I just want to thank you, Mayor Nelson, City Council, the City of Mason, and our neighbors in the area for your support of the center for the past 15 years since we first opened. We opened in 2008. For anybody who's not familiar with the center, the Lindner Center of Hope is a comprehensive mental health center of excellence with a mission to provide exceptional mental health services and thereby create a healthier community as well. The center provides over 50,000 mental health visits every year, and then we reach thousands more people through free community education series. We employ about 400 staff, and we've partnered with the City of Mason, Mason City Schools, and local businesses on starting the conversation around mental health. Over the past couple of years, we've hired about 50 more clinicians than what we had 2 years ago. This about triples the number of clinicians that we have, and we've simply outgrown our space. We've been able to hire clinicians in order to try to meet the rising demand for mental health services. And this expansion allows us to continue to do that and to serve the community need for many years to come. And so tonight we're asking you to support our expansion plans. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to come to the podium and speak? If you come to the podium, if you can please state your name and your address.
My name is Charles Fry, address 7426 Red Oak Court in Mason. I'm the president of the Landing at Oakwood Lakes Condo Association. Our concerns tonight are kind of indirect to the plan that we see. We're one of 5 fairly large communities in between the developments at Dorothy Lane and this development. And our only access, and several of the other communities, only access to the outside world is to Western Row. We have one access similar to Alberta with one access. That section of road, of Western Row, from Mesa Montgomery to 71, well, to this area at Lindner, we're concerned about the volume of traffic that we're going to see, and also the speeds that the traffic does. It's already an issue for us to access Western Row, and we actually want to just raise the awareness of council to the difficulties, the challenges we have to enter and exit the community, given the volume of traffic and the speeding. We have a pretend speed limit on Western Row of 35 mph, and it's rarely kept. So we just want to request that the council be aware of that. Again, we recognize that it's kind of an indirect problem for the developments at each end of Western Row. But I'm thinking we might need some help with controlling that traffic, both the volume and the speeds. I appreciate the council making the effort to hear from us, and also I want to say that our community, I think I can speak for all the community. We are proud and gratified that we have the Lindner Center of Hope as our neighbor, and we appreciate the city's and the center's sensitivity to us next door, and we thank you for that.
Okay, thank you. Would anyone else like to come to the podium to speak? If you can please state your name and your address when you get to the podium.
Yes, my name is Martin Klenke, and I live at 4395 Black Oak Lane in the same housing development. I had a question. Has a study been done on traffic, the traffic impact of this development on Western Row? Have they done any kind of study? What you'd think the traffic is likely to be? I mean, I heard about a number of technicians, a large expansion of space for housing people. I'm assuming 2 to 3 cars a day coming into the center to visit the people there. So I'm kind of wondering, well, and I also, coming off of the spring growth in the centerpieces on Western Row, it was very difficult sometimes to get out onto Western Row because of the blocking of the herbs that are growing up so high that you couldn't see the cars coming until they were right on you. That's a main road from the factories down in the southern part of Western Row to get onto the highway. And so we've got tractor trailers coming up through there, and I'll tell you, none of them go 35 miles an hour. I mean, the city could improve their revenue substantially by giving a police officer a little duty on that road. So anyway, the question is, I think, traffic. I don't think the Lindner Center offers any kind of a noise issue or any kind of pollution issue or anything like that to us as residents there, but the traffic is a big question.
Okay, thank you. Jordy, this was addressed during Planning Commission. Would you like to speak on it?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. So what we have before us tonight is a concept plan, and just as the name describes, it is simply that, it's a concept. Is this potential expansion, these potential changes, something that's palatable to the city? If, I'm not saying they will, but if council was to approve the concept plan this evening, the Lindner Center of Hope would have to come back through Planning Commission with a final development plan that's going to look at the specifics of development, and one of those specifics is traffic. So we would work with the applicant on how we would do it, but there would be some sort of traffic impact study that would be completed. It would most likely be a phased traffic impact study where the Lindner Center of Hope would just be responsible at looking at their portion, and then if those high-tech buildings were to develop, they would be responsible for looking at the traffic impacts of their portion. But if this was to be approved tonight, that's something that we would need them to consider for Planning Commission approval in the future.
Okay. Yes, anyone else like to come to the podium to speak?
I just had a really simple
You could-
question.
sir, if
My
you could
name's
state
Ray
your-
Roshak,
Your name and address, please.
7098 Scarlet Oak Court, Mason, Ohio. Was just going to ask if the map could be explained. I can't read the streets.
Yeah, apologies. And also, I will say, I'm happy to chat with anyone after this, but if you'd like, I can email you a copy of this so you have it as well. Happy to do that. So at the top part of the map here, this is Old Western Row Road. This road down here, just next to those blue buildings, that's the existing entrance to the Lindner Center of Hope. Over here, this is the Oakwood Lakes and landing at Oakwood Lakes subdivision. This is where Old Western Row Road turns into Western Row Road. This is Innovation Way down here. And then just coming off the map on the right, this would be the I-71 interchange entrance. And so as we discussed, and then right here, that's that Lens Crafters signal, and then that potential future roadway running through the property.
Okay, do we have anyone else that would like to address council? Okay. I will close the public hearing at 8:17. I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's time for council discussion. And I just want to say, I know I've said this during the Planning Commission, but it's worth repeating. I just want to extend my heartfelt gratitude for the incredible expansion that the Lindner Center of Hope is doing. You are such an asset to our community, not only Mason, but really the country as a whole. You have people from all over this country trying to get into your center. And I know sometimes it is full, and they're unable to get in, so this will definitely help to increase your size and allow for more individuals to seek help. We are very excited about this, and we just want to thank you for investing in our community and for trusting Mason, and thank you for everything that you do. Any council discussion? Yes.
I would just echo that as well. I mean, I think we all in this room would agree that mental health is increasing. It's certainly not going down. And to have an asset like that, I've personally known people that have gone through the Lindner Center of Hope, and the care that they have received was second to none. So it is, to see this, to be able to address this, the situation that we're dealing with mental health, I think it's extremely exciting, and to be able to choose Mason to expand here. As Mayor Nelson mentioned, I know there's people that fly in from other countries to come here to seek help. So again, just a major gratitude for not only expanding here, but continuing to care about an epidemic that I think is just, growing tremendously. And for us to have a solution set here in Mason is very exciting.
Okay, anyone else? Councilmember Bennett.
For being here and for the service that you offer. I did want to ask about the traffic question. I've heard from a number of people, both on the Alberta and Oakwood Lakes side, as well as on the other side, Village Lakes, that they're having a lot of trouble getting out of the neighborhood.
Mayor, I can
Yes,
address it.
yes, thank you.
Both the safety triad, which is the city engineer, police chief, and public works director, and myself, we've all looked at it multiple times. The site distance is adequate for more than 35 miles per hour, but Public Works is in the process of revamping each of those medians down through there, and there are times during the year where residents will alert us that they're getting too high to where it's difficult to see. So we do go out and trim those or have our contractor trim those down. But having those, some of those materials that grow up and are problematic removed is one of the things that we've done and will continue to do if they haven't all been removed yet. As far as the hill, we've looked at that extensively as well. There's adequate sight distance. I think cars do go varying speeds down through there. We actually did lower the speed limit to try to help with that. But a sign doesn't make people slow down, and the way speed limits are set is based on the 85th percentile, essentially. There's a few other factors, but what people are comfortable driving is what they're going to drive. And we've considered potential future options of a roundabout at the Village Lakes Alberta intersection, but I think with the Veterans Boulevard connection to Mason Montgomery Road, that'll give those residents another way out at another signal. That's for the Alberta subdivision, out to the Veterans Boulevard, Financial Way, Mason Montgomery Road intersection with the Mosaic development. So that's potentially an alternative. A roundabout would offer some, calming of traffic down through that corridor. However, it would be a pretty high price tag of an improvement to put in there, and I don't know how well it would rank for grants, because we've also looked at accident data, and there's been, there was one serious fatality at that intersection, but beyond that, there's not a crash. There's not a lot of crashes down through there. Police are well aware of it, and they have stepped up patrols, but I'll mention to the police chief the comments tonight and ask that he step up patrols some more out there. And I think that's one thing that we can do is the speed feedback sign. We try to rotate that throughout the city to allow, if you leave it in one place too long, people get immune to it. They don't look at it, recognize it. So we do try to rotate it at various streets throughout the city. So that's another thing that we can do to try to help with some of the speeds. Obviously, if there's a speed problem, there's not a volume problem, so I don't think there's a volume issue out there, but the speeds would be something that we can try to work on and get creative on.
Is there any possibility of making access from the lakes to that new road so they could go out through the light?
Potentially in that future road that goes out to LensCrafters Boulevard, there's a potential there. I think, like with the Alberta development, there was an option to connect that and to get out to Alberta. However, the neighbors at that time were against it. They were worried about cut-through traffic coming through their development. We offered a solution to gate that, to allow it for emergency access only, and that was declined as well. So I think what we may run into with this is the people that live in a cul-de-sac currently and then all of a sudden having it be a through connection are probably not going to like that idea, but the rest of the subdivision would like that idea, and so we may run into the same issue, but that's a potential. Yes, certainly.
Okay. All right, it is, well, again, we are excited to see the future and the positive impact that this is going to have on our community. And it's time for roll call.
Vice Mayor Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bennett?
Yes.
Councilmember Gibson?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Spaeth?
Yes.
Ordinance 2024-79, I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved. Second.
Move second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed?
authorizing a new grant funding agreement between the City of Mason and the Mason-Deerfield Chamber Community Development Corporation related to the Mason Mile project and declaring an emergency.
Kurt?
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. I'll try to be brief. There's been a lot of work into this agreement. Starting back in April when we had a work session, Council recommended a $3.5 million grant over a 5-year period. And in May, Council approved that grant funding and authorized the city manager to negotiate details of the funding agreement. So since then, staff has worked with MAID CDC staff to prepare the agreement that's before you this evening. That agreement includes annual reporting of detailed expenses, additional revenue sources that they've secured, additional investment and programming within the Mason Mile on an annual basis. The agreement does include annual fixed payments as well as annual special projects funds that will be paid over the 5-year period. This will continue to the long-term sustainability of the Mason Mile initiative and continue the momentum that we already have. This also ensures the city remains a point of contact for economic development within our corporate business portfolio, but strengthens MAID CDC's leadership role with the Mason Mile, and as you can see tonight, with when Jennifer was going over the city manager report, all of the activity that's going on downtown already. So this agreement will further that excitement in the Mason Mile. So with that, ordinance 2024-79, or I'm sorry, 2024-52.
No, 79.
Oh, it is 79. Sorry. Is recommended for adoption. And with that, I'll answer any questions you might have.
Okay, great. I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Any council discussion? Yes.
I was wondering if we have any additional detail about the Project Advisory Council?
Sherry, would you like to put you on the spot here?
You're the last one in the room. Almost.
Good evening, Mayor and members of council. Is there something specific you are looking for, Councilmember Bennett, on the Project Advisory Council?
I know it says you're establishing it, so I'm assuming
Yes.
it does not exist yet.
Well, so we did have one in place for the last grant funding agreement and actually had representation of, I want to say there were close to 25 individuals on that. And it was very intentionally laid out to make sure we had representation geographically throughout the whole Mason Mile, and that was made up of business components, residential components, property owners, city staff, elected leadership. So the idea behind the Project Advisory Council in spirit is to make sure that as we're making decisions, that we've got the voices and representation of the neighborhood at the core of the project, right? Because that's, as we've said all along, is that this really needs to be a community-driven effort, and that hasn't changed. That spirit still is in place today. So I expect that with the revamp of things, that will remain somewhat of the impetus. I just don't know. I don't have the specifics yet on how they're exactly gonna want to make some changes on that. So
How often do they meet?
for the first grant, it was really the reason we had it in place was based on the prior consulting team. They actually had said we should only really rely on them about 3 to 4 times over the course of it was supposed to be about like a 9 to 10 month project window, and we actually ended up leveraging them 7. So we actually asked them to double their time commitment with us that first go around. So it's hard because what we really want to do is make sure that if there's a moment where we need to have a dialogue about something, we want to be able to utilize the team for those kinds of things. So I would say that when we set it, we will try to be good about setting clear expectations, but it may end up being that we just sometimes ask for more. So.
Okay, thank you. One of the things that I wanted to make sure to clarify is just regular information flow back and forth from us to you and updates on how things are going, whether that's through that project advisory council or other mechanisms. Just like to.
Yeah, happy, and we're more than happy to explore that. I know, the last go-around, we had asked to be on the council agendas each meeting. We kind of put a pause on that, given that the last several months, we've really been doing a lot of the behind-the-scenes work with the city staff and trying to get us to this moment, but that may be an opportunity for us to revisit that too, because obviously the objective is to make sure that we are having a lot of really good conversation about all the wonderful things that are, as Kurt pointed out, going to continue to happen, because there are so many wonderful things already underway. We want to make sure that we are communicating that regularly, so.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Anybody else before I sit down?
Yes. Oh, I
You don't need me? Okay.
Question,
Thank
yeah. Okay, I just want to make a comment. I just want to say, I think it's very exciting that, I guess this is really 2 years plus now that we've come full circle with this partnership with the CDC. And it is very exciting that, you took an idea to involve the community with volunteers and businesses, and just various citizens, and with very little government influence, which is what we were hoping to have in trying to revitalize downtown, to let this be the Citizens Project, so to speak, or I'm making that up as that name, but the community project. So I'm very excited that we've come full circle and we now have this agreement so that you can move on to the next phase. I know that a lot of people have been very impatient about how long everything is taking, but I think it's so important that we continue to have this partnership and continue to have the trust that we have had so far, and looking forward to whatever may be coming in the future. And we all just need to have a little more patience. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? And I know everybody would like to see something done immediately, but I do think that we need to continue down this process that we have already been working with you on, and leave that to the CDC to drive. And hopefully we will be there to support you. So thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes, Vice Mayor Chan.
Yeah, very similar. I mean, you mentioned voices and representation, right? There's, for some reason, a lot of times public officials, they get up here and they become developers all of a sudden. And to be able to depoliticize this thing and get it into the hands of people, I believe there's the group out of Nashville that we hired, they've looked at 600 downtowns, right? So they've seen all walks, all different styles and genres of downtown. So to be able to have that type of expertise coming and working alongside of us is incredible, and allowing us to do what we do best with infrastructure and all that good stuff. So, I'm extremely excited. I've been in Mason since 1981, and our downtown is pretty much still the same. And that is the one thing, I mean, if you look at outside of downtown, we've done an incredible job. I mean, it's grown leaps and bounds. I mean, you talk about all of our economic development, what we're able to do through our economic development team, and it's second to none. I love them. They're incredible. But our downtown is something that all of the residents always mentions. And we've tried certain ways or certain styles, or however you want to call it, and this is different. Finally, this is something different, and bringing in folks that know how to execute on something like this is extremely exciting. I cannot wait to see what happens with this. So thank you for your persistency. Thank you to your team, and, to Councilmember Bennett. I love, the getting everyone involved and making sure that communication is flowing, and it's going to have to flow because it's going to have elected officials, it's going to have business owners and community, and that's how this should be done. So thank you, and kudos to staff and council and getting this together, and I'm just excited to see what happens.
Okay. Anyone else? Well, I won't repeat anything they said, but we are all very excited, and it's in good hands. I know the CDC is going to do a phenomenal job, and the ball is rolling and it's moving, and finally we're making some movement on this downtown. So it's going to be really exciting to see what the next 2 years bring with our downtown. With that, we need roll call, please.
Councilmember Bennett?
Yes.
Councilmember Gibson?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Chance?
Yes.
All right. Congratulations. Ordinance 2024-80, I need a motion to read by title only.
Second?
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed?
Authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Ford Development Corp. for the installation of a fire branch water service line and pit on State Route 741 in the amount of $120,000.
Kurt?
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. During the 741 project, we worked with Waterworks, and as part of that project, we replaced an old transite water line or asbestos cement water line with a new 12-inch ductile pipe. During that, the contractor unknowingly, because it was not on any of our plans or Waterworks plans, it disconnected a fire branch that went to a hydrant at the contract lumber development. And after that was discovered, it took us months to find out where that water main actually connected out to the old water main, and then to get a quote from our contractor to do the work. The contractor for that overall project was Synesis. We thought their price was high, so we got a second quote from Ford Development. Their price was about half of what we were quoted, and so that's what the ordinance is being recommended tonight, is for Ford Development Corporation for $120,000 to reconnect that fire branch and install the pit as needed for that fire main. Ford is a contractor that we've used on past projects with good success in the past. And also, I should mention, Waterworks is going to pay half of the cost of this line as they would have had it been done and caught and done with the project. So with that, ordinance 2024-80 is recommended for adoption. I'll answer any questions you might have. Thanks.
Thank you. I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? I need a motion to adopt.
Second.
Any council discussion? I have one question. So when I read the replacement of an old 12-inch asbestos cement water line, it was a little concerning.
Yeah. It's very, we have very little of it left in the city. It's asbestos cement, which the asbestos doesn't get into the water. It's not like a lead pipe where the lead gets in the water. But the problem with that pipe is it's very fragile. And so if there's any, like a lot of the water main breaks where there's freeze thaw or the temperatures get very hot in the summer and there's lots of water main breaks, often that's either a cast iron or a ductile iron, or a, transite water main pipe. And, or if you're doing any digging next to the water main, transite main, it'll break. And so that's why Waterworks wants to get rid of it, put a ductile pipe in, but there's not a health concern with the transite pipes.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Very good. All right, any other council discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Councilmember Gibson?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bennett?
Yes.
All right, ordinance 2024-82. I need a motion to read by title only.
Second.
All in favor? Yes. Any opposed?
Authorizing the city manager to enter into a memorandum of understanding with St. Susanna Parish School to join the Campus Safety Policing District.
Okay, Jennifer?
Mayor, members of council, the Masons Police Department Campus Safety Initiative was created to improve safety throughout the community, this campus, as well as the partnership between the schools and business partners. This initiative continues to serve as a leading model for communication and within our safety agencies throughout the country. The Mason Police Department has worked closely with St. Susanna Schools for a number of years on several safety initiatives that included DARE classes, safety drill facilitation, as well as student behavioral threat assessments. Those conversations became more directed and more focused in regards to the Campus Safety Initiative. Our team, along with our Chief of Police, shares some of the benefits of being part of that initiative and the services that the campus safety team could provide, such as building relationships with students and enhancing safety in the school and throughout programs such as student intervention, mentorship opportunities, and expanded classroom lessons. As a result of those conversations with our team, St. Susanna is interested in joining the Campus Safety Initiative. The partnership with this MOU will begin with a tentative experimental one-year agreement with the intention of executing a long-term agreement. The current staffing levels within the police department are able to meet the expansion short-term. However, we anticipate that as part of the 2025 budget hearings, we'll be talking with the Finance Committee about increasing our staffing levels to accommodate this addition to the campus safety team. St. Susanna will be the third organization that has joined the Campus Safety Policing District, which includes Mason City Schools and the Warren County Education Center. The growth of the Campus Safety Initiative is testament to its success and has become a creative and significant asset to enhancing safety in the community. Ordinance 2024-82 authorizes the city manager to enter into this agreement with St. Susanna, consistent with the other agreements we have in place and the existing agreements we have in place with both the Mason City School District and Warren County Education Center. Both of those have become a template for how we move forward with other schools that might be interested as well. With that, ordinance 2024-82 is recommended for adoption. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you so much. I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? I need a motion to adopt. Any council discussion? All right, roll call.
Mayor Nelson,
Yes.
Councilmember Spaeth,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Chance.
Yes.
Councilmember Bennett,
Yes.
Councilmember Gibson.
Yes.
Ordinance 2024-83, I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed?
Authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with ORDINANCES for the purchase of a 5-year licensing and maintenance contract for VMware virtualization software in an amount not to exceed $111,000.
Okay, Jennifer?
Yes, Mayor, members of council, in 2012, the city began transforming many physical servers to the server virtualization platform known as VMware. The process allowed city servers to operate on significantly less equipment with increased scalability, redundancy, performance, and ease of backup and recovery. Since 2012, 99% of all the city's server infrastructure has been virtualized. When the decision was made to move to this virtualized infrastructure, staff had evaluated several vendors, and ultimately VMware was chosen due to its widespread adoption, ease of use and support, and the many built-in integrations with other systems. One of the most important integrations was backup and recovery. The city's disaster recovery system is directly linked to VMware and allows for hourly snapshots of file backups along with current service status. After the backups are completed on-site, they are immediately replicated on off-site locations. If a disaster were to occur, server and files could be recovered on-site or off-site in a matter of hours instead of days. Many critical systems used by the city run on VMware, including the city's financial systems, phone systems, video security, and network security. In late 2023, VMware was purchased by a large corporation known as Broadcom. Broadcom has spent most of 2024 restructuring, and in August of this year, the city received notification of an updated pricing and terms for VMware customers. The new terms include a requirement for customers to enter into a 5-year subscription that included a significant price increase. The city would be experiencing approximately a 245% increase from current pricing. VMware has become the core of the city's infrastructure for the city's data operations, and it would be very costly as well as virtually impossible to quickly migrate to another platform. We only learned of this in August. As a result, the city is recommending right now to renew VMware under the new terms and use the 5-year term to evaluate other platforms to see if it's best to stay with the current infrastructure plan or migrate to another platform. There are roughly 3 prominent leaders in the virtualization software market. VMware remains the most respected leader with over 50% of the market share. The annual cost of this contract is $18,000 annually with 9% increases each year, totaling approximately $111,000 over the life of the 5-year commitment. The city's ability to purchase the platform, our ability to purchase the platform through OAR net state bid resulted in approximately $105,000 savings, which is just a tribute to those cooperative purchasing programs that we do invest in. Ordinance 2024-83 is recommended for adoption. If you have any questions, please feel free to, I'm happy to answer your questions. Sorry.
Okay, great. I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
All right, council discussion. I had one question. Governor DeWine's administration announced the $7 million in grant funding for the new Cyber Ohio local government grant program. Do you know if that falls under that at all, or if we can get any grant money for that?
Say that again.
It is the Cyber Ohio local government grant program. And there's $7 million available. Great. Save some money.
I just had a quick math question. The 245% increase, was that before you were able to go through the state bid program, or is that after? Like, was it going to actually be more like 500%? Wow.
Yeah, they kind of have you in a.
Yeah, you're stuck.
There's nothing you hardly can do, because there's no way you're going to change over all your systems, and you just learn of this in August, so.
Wow, okay.
That's too bad. All right, any other council discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Councilmember Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bennett?
Yes.
Councilmember Gibson?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes. Ordinance 2024-84, I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed?
Authorizing the city manager to execute the contract with OpenGov, Inc. for the purchase and installation of asset management and permitting and licensing software.
Kurt?
Yes, thank you. This is just about as exciting as the last software, maybe a little more. I'm actually excited about this one. This started a couple years ago. We were notified that our fleet maintenance software was going to be discontinued, and the price would be, it would go to more of an online type application. The price was going to exceed $30,000 a year, which for fleet maintenance software we thought was very high. So staff's been evaluating options that would include fleet maintenance as well as facility maintenance and all of our daily work tickets, which currently are done by hand and given to staff. We think this type of a software would greatly improve the daily efficiency. We talked to multiple agencies, looked at least, I was involved in at least 5 different demos of software, and looked at options, talked with agencies about their use of the products and how easy it was to use, and train staff. In addition, we were very frustrated with our current software for building permits and inspections, and this OpenGov software can also do that. And it's our current software is per seat. This is unlimited, so it's an online application. Right now, many of us share a couple of logins to save costs for the city. This would allow us to have more users access to the software. And in addition, it could do our tasks. So right now, we have a software that we use anytime there's an issue with a computer or facility, we enter work tickets. This could take over that work ticket system as well. So multiple use, cost savings of grouping it all together. And even though it is a pretty high implementation cost and initial software fee of over $200,000, we believe that it's the right software, and the cost of our building permit software and fleet management software alone is 2/3 of this annual cost. So with that, we can get much more functionality and improve efficiency. No, we'll say, in addition to what we're asking for in this ordinance tonight, we will have some data collection of the existing assets within the city right-of-way. There's several companies that do that we're still exploring, and that's where they can basically drive a vehicle, almost like if you use the Google Street View type map. They drive down the streets, and then they could pick up all of the assets and put those into GIS, and our GIS system will integrate with this software. So if we have a resident that has a concern about a particular catch basin, we would have that asset in there, be able to generate a work ticket on that particular catch basin, and then keep track of when it was last repaired and things like that. So basically a data collection, an extensive data collection software that would also improve our efficiency. So we do expect the ordinance later in the year to do that inventory work. The 2024 budget had $150,000 for the asset management inventory and $200,000 for the building permit application. Combined, we believe will be well below that $350,000 threshold with the implementation and with the future asset management ordinance. So with that, ordinance 2024-84 is recommended for adoption. I'll answer any questions you might have. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? Need a motion to adopt?
Moved.
Any council discussion?
I just am curious if the example of the dead animal in the road was put in there for me.
Maybe.
Maybe. I'm curious if this software, I know that, your priority will be what you just mentioned, but will this also be able to track resident calls into the city? I know you talked about tickets. If people call in and say, I've got an issue with a whatever, will you be able to track those through the system as well?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't know if that's another module or if it'd be included in this. I think I can check. I believe so, but I don't want to tell you for sure.
My understanding is it
Yeah.
could, but
Think it-
obviously our attention to begin with is just to get it
Yeah.
up and running and to be able to use it internally before we, before we roll it out to the public and
Public
want
facing.
to make sure you work
Yeah.
out.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bennett?
Yes.
Councilmember Gibson?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Spaeth?
Yes.
Ordinance 2024-85, I need a motion to read by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed?
Amending various sections of the city income tax code to comply with the provisions of Ohio House Bill 33.
Jennifer?
Yes, Mayor, members of council, Jeff probably knows this better than I do, but while Mason is a charter city, the Ohio courts have ruled charter cities must conform to municipal income tax state laws, or they may lose their ability to continue imposing municipal income tax. On June 15, 2023, House Bill 33 was passed and established the state operating budget. It also included in House Bill 33 were some changes to how municipal income tax was administered, and as a result, the city is required to update its tax ordinance to be in conformity with these changes. So I'm going to highlight a few of them that are most pronounced. For tax year 2023, it limits the penalty that may be imposed on a taxpayer for failing to timely file municipal income tax returns to a one-time fee of $25, provides for an additional 1-month extension for municipal income tax returns where a business entity has received a 6-month federal extension, limits the circumstances under which municipal income tax inquiries or notices may be sent to a taxpayer subject to a filing extension. A municipality can be liable for up to $150 for costs incurred by a taxpayer to respond to a tax inquiry or notice delivered following a filed extension. Requires a municipality to notify the state tax commissioner anytime there is a change in the municipality's income tax rate. And then for tax year 2024, an exemption on income of those it has exemptions on income for those under 18 for tax years beginning on or after January 1, 2024, And finally, it allows a business with remote employees to basically, whether that employee is an actual employee, an employee who is working as a subcontractor or owner, that employer can designate where that remote employee's place of business is. So even though the employer may be here in Mason, if we have a remote employee that's working, let's say in Westchester or Springdale, that employer can say that employee's income tax filing jurisdiction is Springdale or Westchester. This only applies to the net profits tax and does not impact the withholding tax for that employee. Ordinance 2024-85 is recommended for adoption. Happy to answer any questions.
Okay, motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? I need a motion to adopt.
So moved?
Second.
Any council discussion? I have a couple things I want to say. I actually serve on the Ohio Municipal League Tax Committee, and this was brought forward to us, so we've analyzed this. And I also got a couple calls. I guess people have read it on our agenda, and I received a couple calls on it. This is actually all very good for the taxpayer. It is limiting some things that the municipality can do, and I think the big one is, and I'm not saying Mason does this, I'm saying municipalities in general, when an individual or a company had an extension, the municipalities were continuing to send them notices that they didn't file their return, and they panic when they get a letter, they send it to their accountant charges them because they have to deal with it. It's just a lot of unnecessary cost and confusion, and so this is really good that they can't send you anything until after that deadline. Also, of course, for the net profit tax, it really became quite a problem because of all the different locations that all the employees were working from at home. And technically, it's a three-factor prong. I won't go into all that, but you have to report your wages as an employer for all those different areas. And so you'd have to technically file all these different tax returns in all these different cities, and it was really cumbersome. And so these are all really good changes that benefit the taxpayer. All right, does anyone else have any? All right, roll call, please.
Councilmember Bennett?
Yes.
Councilmember Gibson?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Chance?
Yes.
All right, next is committee reports, and if I could just remind you to list who is on your committee. Do we have any committee reports? Yes.
Yeah, Councilmember Strictly was not able to attend tonight, and he asked me that I would just give a brief update on the Finance Committee. We met on August 29th in preparation for the budget season coming up, and that will be starting in October. We did hear from the Mason Symphony Orchestra on their current financial situation, plans for the future, and potential new staff positions. We also reviewed the information provided by Matt Nolan, our county auditor, on the upcoming property tax, which we talked about earlier, and the property tax increases and how that impacts the city. And so we're about ready to get into the throes of the budget that I mentioned, so I'm sure we'll have many more updates to come when we start looking into the budget this fall.
Okay. Does anyone else have a committee report?
Mayor?
Yes.
Okay, the Rules Committee met again, and we were able to get the results. Well, actually, Kurt and other staff discussed the results from the survey that was sent out on the Property Maintenance Code. It was sent out to, I think there was 11,642 mailers that were sent out, and we had a 16% response rate, which I understand is very, very good. And all of the results were sent to all of the council members as well. And also, I think everybody that must have filled it out, they also did a comment, right? Did you guys get through this, Councilmember Gibson and Bennett? Have you? I know. I'm trying to work my way through there, but there was a lot of comments that were made. But from that, this is giving the legal staff the ability to write the property maintenance code. And we have Kathy Ryan, who works in Jeff, she's a colleague of Jeff Forbes, our law director, and Kathy has worked with many municipalities in writing property maintenance codes. She's worked with Evendale, Glendale, Arlington Heights, Laughlin, Geneva on the Lake, Greenville Township in Dark County, Amelia, Moscow, and I think even Westchester. So she's got lots of experience, and we're looking forward to, they're going to start that process of writing the property maintenance code. So hopefully we will have some more information on that in the future, and hopefully by the next meeting, we're going to be through all the comments, right? Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Councilmember Bennett.
Public Services Committee met on August 29th, and we talked about a few different things. I asked about the possibility of publicly recognizing some of our public services employees who have to do the jobs that remain usually behind the scenes, like picking up dead animals off the road. I've been really impressed by how quickly things get taken care of here, and would love to kind of do a combination of educating and recognizing people who probably don't very often. So we talked, I mentioned that I'd heard something about some internal Mason bucks, or maybe more commonly referred to as Eric bucks. He's not here to defend himself, so I can say that. But that's mostly an internal recognition process, and I'd love to work on a way of doing that more externally. So we talked about that, and then I asked about a neighborhood cleanup resource, and it turns out that you all have been working on that as well. There's a trailer available that staff is looking into stocking with things depending on the season, whether it's, you know, helping to clean yard waste or maybe winter snow clearance and that sort of thing, that residents could be able to request, have it delivered to their area, and then hauled away, which I really loved hearing that. We also talked about cycling. This was one of the highest rated opportunity areas for the city when I did a community survey, and it's definitely come up. People have contacted me specifically asking about things like bicycle racks around downtown so that they can ride in and safely park and visit our downtown businesses and attend some of the events. I've had some people at the school ask about encouraging staff and students to ride to school. And we talked about, you know, maybe a baby step of towards that would be just a day in the school year where everyone rides or walks to school, because then you're going together, everybody will know, and it would be really fun to see how that affects the traffic in and around schools, because that's quite a challenge. And then asked for an update on the bike paths, and it sounds like there's a lot of efficiency in doing bike paths with road projects. So, you know, we talked about that with the Western Row to Snyder. Snyder, between Western Row and 42, that widening will include a bike path, which will connect some paths around me that we're definitely excited about. So just some different ideas for encouraging cycling around town and promoting that culture of wellness. And then the last thing we talked about was traffic around the middle and high school, and potentially adding, paving the road from Foxfield across to the Corwin-Nixon parking area, so that people could get into the middle and high school parking lots from another way, and also get out. So we talked about potentially doing a traffic study to see what impact paving that road and making it available would have. And staff was talking about how this could potentially help with access and egress from events that are held in that campus area, like Red Rhythm and Boom as well, would be another, you know, easing of the pressure of all of the cars in and out. So we hope to have an update in a month on what that traffic study shows, and also conversations with the school district about potentially doing that.
Okay. All right, I do have two committee reports. The Arts Committee met, and Councilmember Bennett and Councilmember Hackey serve on this committee with me. But before I say that, Josh Creech, who is an employee of the City of Mason, was there, and I just want to take a moment to say congratulations to him, because he was awarded the Class 4 license in the wastewater management Center. And I guess this is a very difficult class to achieve, and we are honored to be able to have Josh as part of our team, and he was very excited, and we were very excited for him as well, so I thought I would just throw that out, because that did take place in our Arts Committee meeting. It took him years to get that, years. We talked about, we're just brainstorming, and we were talking about an arts park possibly on the Gould property. And again, this is just a conversation. Nothing has been done with it. We are just brainstorming, just trying to think of what a park would look like. So I searched online for some other parks in the country and just pulled some ideas. We talked about a sculpture garden that can be turned into a maze for children, a meditation garden, various types of gardens with different trees, plants, flowers, and shrubbery, more walking paths and bike paths. Again, this hasn't gone anywhere yet, and it won't go anywhere until we have the community involved in it. But this is just another unique idea that I hope will become another unique park that Mason has within the region. But I don't know if you can see this. Let me just show a couple of them. This is just stuff I pulled off the internet, which I thought was just beautiful. Let's show one or two more. Just some really pretty things. We have restrictions on the property, so this would be a perfect fit and something different that Mason doesn't have. So we talked about that. Also, this Friday, as Jennifer had said, council is invited to attend the Arts Summit, which will focus on grant-making process for the arts, and I will be in attendance to see what I can do to help our local community to take part in getting some of this grant funding. And if you are interested in going, just let Jennifer know. I also had a meeting with the Warren County Foundation, and we discussed a civic fund, and this is a community-based fund that the community can donate to for various projects within Mason, projects or charities within Mason, and it would be managed by the Warren County Foundation. This, again, is something very preliminary. We have a lot more vetting to do on it. I was a little bit hesitant just because I don't want to compete or take away from any of the charitable organizations that have already been established in Mason, but there are a lot of surrounding communities that have it. Lebanon is one of them. So we are kind of looking into it and seeing what it's all about and how it could benefit Mason. It is a work in process. We also discussed the East Maine Music Festival on October 5th and the Heritage Festival on September 21st. These are great community building events that we are excited for and hope that everybody comes out to it. And then we had the Small Business Committee, which is also Councilmember Bennett and Councilmember Hackey. The Small Business Committee is working with the Warren County Foundation to be the recipient of the Duke Energy Small Business Grant in 2025. This grant would award small businesses some funds to make improvements to their businesses, and we should have more information on that in early 2025, but we're very hopeful that Duke Energy will award this to Mason. The City of Mason sent mailers out to our residents asking them to nominate a small business for the Mason Small Business Community Impact Award. This award celebrates a local business that is making a significant impact on the quality of life here in Mason through their work to build community spirit and pride. A company that collaborates with other small businesses, helps to grow the small business community, connects with residents, demonstrates support for local charitable organizations, and shows compassion and kindness to others. So we read through all the different survey responses and talked to some of our local nonprofits, and the results are in. The top 3 finalists for the award are Common Beer Company, Cincy Sammy's, and Whippy Dip. So congratulations. Congratulations to all 3 of these companies. We will be announcing the winner at the Gems of Excellence Award ceremony, which is October 24th. And then in the November council meeting, we will celebrate all 3 of these businesses and recognize them again at the meeting. So again, congratulations to Common Beer, Cincy Sammy's, and Whippy Dip. And a big congratulations to all of the small businesses who are in our community who are making an impact. You are truly valued, and we appreciate all of you. All right, I think that is all for the small business. I'm sorry, for the committee reports. Next is old and new business. Does anyone have any old or new business? Yes.
Mayor. Oh,
Vice,
sorry, go ahead.
Vice Mayor.
I was contacted, we regularly, I think a good way for the city to support some of our local clubs, the Rotary Club, it will be having their inaugural black tie event on November 23rd. And I'd like to make a motion for us to get a table there.
To get a table where? Sorry.
The Rotary Club is having their inaugural black tie event
Okay.
on November 23rd. And like I said, I think it's just a good way for the city to support these type of clubs and especially the Rotary Club for what they do with the kids. And so I'd like to make a motion for us to buy a table there.
Okay, so there's a motion on the table. 1 second. Do we have a second? Did you second it? Okay. All in favor? Yes. Any opposed? Right. Do we have to do roll call?
Nope, motion passed.
Okay, motion passed. Good job.
And then I listened to a podcast the other day in regards to farmers markets. And we have one coming up this Friday, September 13th, and I just encourage a lot of people to attend. And, you know, I won't go into details about the podcast, just about what we're consuming in regards to food. And they just said one of the best ways to get and eat healthy is to buy food from the farmers market. And we have one right here on the plaza coming up September 13th. So I just encourage everybody out there to get out and attend this and make it even bigger to support our local farmers and get food that is locally grown without some of the crap that we put in our bodies. So I would completely encourage people to get out to the farmers market this Friday, September 13th.
Great. All right. Councilmember Spaeth.
I just want to make mention, in our packet, we had a memo about the adaptive work study program. And before I say any more, Jennifer, is this the first year for this program, the adaptive work study? That's what I thought. Okay. So I just want to mention it because Mason does a really great job of trying to offer programs that expand inclusivity. And this is, well, some other examples are the Mason All-Stars basketball team. They're an adaptive youth basketball program. The Mason Manta Ray Champions, they're an adaptive swim program. And then we also partner with the Mason Challenger League and their baseball teams. And I just wanted to read what it's about. It says the adaptive work study program was designed to provide professional learning opportunities for individuals 16 years of age and older with a disability. The adaptive work study program aims to help improve participants' professional competencies, increase their likelihood of employment, provide community integration, and make meaningful contributions to the city's day-to-day operations. So I think this is another example of how we do try to be inclusive and build on our culture of wellness. And I love that we're doing this, and it is a brand new program. So I'm sure this will just get bigger as time goes on. And then just the other thing I wanted to mention, we always get the Mason Historical Society newsletter, and I just think this sounds so much fun. They offer Segway history tours, and there's a fellow named Ron Macy who offers the tours of Mason historical landmarks, and I just think that sounds like so much fun. It says he can lead up to 6 people at a time, and they have, in the newsletter, they do have the information about how to contact him if you wanted to take a tour, so that might be something interesting people want to do to find out about the history in Mason.
Do you have to be able to operate a Segway safely?
I guess so. I don't know.
Challenging.
All right, is that all? Yes. Okay. It does sound fun. I did see that. All that I can think of, though, is I would fall flat on my face.
Maybe it does walking alternatives.
Maybe we should have a council meeting and do this. There you go.
We could certainly make a comic.
Oh, okay. Jennifer said the insurance doesn't cover it. Good.
Oh.
There. Okay, I have a couple things. House Bill 47 was signed last month, which requires the placement of automated external defibrillators, AEDs, in our schools and public recreation facilities. It was passed as an emergency, so effective immediately, all the parks and schools and other facilities within the state of Ohio will have AEDs available. So if ever there's a case of an emergency, you should know that one is nearby. Make sure maybe you know where it is before you need it. The One Ohio Recovery Foundation approved the first batch of regional grants funded by the state's multi-million-dollar opioid settlement with $936,000. The foundation will continue to negotiate grant agreements and issue money for over the next several months. I will let you know when Warren County receives their money. And last is the tennis. We didn't really talk about tennis, but tennis was phenomenal this year, and it was very exciting to see the different changes that have taken place, and I'm very excited to see in the future that, you know, all the changes should be done by 2025, hopefully. But just a couple things that I found which I thought were interesting. The established fan base is double the size of the Super Bowl, with 126 million viewers broadcasted over 192 global markets, which those are some big numbers. There were also 1,200 volunteers, so way to go for everyone who came out and volunteered. You know, it's such a great asset to have those volunteers within our community. There were also 240 tennis professionals that received, that Mason welcomed, and we gave them a Dorothy Lane gift box, which included a welcome home card, a $150 Come Together Mason Yeti gift card, and an access pass to the community center and Aquatic Center, along with a Mason Loves Tennis t-shirt. So I'm just curious to know how many of the professionals went to our local businesses and used their Yeti gift cards.
Don't have that information yet.
Okay.
To find out.
All right, that will be interesting if you could find that out for next
Yeah,
meeting.
one of the points of that is if they do not get used, they come back to the city. Those balances on those cards come back to the city. So it's a
Oh,
great way to welcome the players, and we don't lose anything if they're not using them.
Right, that's great. And so they would have already had to use them. They can't, it's done.
Yep.
Okay. Hopefully they went out and,
Yeah.
and went to the different establishments here. All right, does anyone else have any old or new business? All right. With that, we have recognition of visitors.
Visitor.
We have one person in our audience. No, okay. Well, very good. Then I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? All right. Have a good month. We will see you next month. Thank you.